What? What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I have an awesome unboxing for you. We've got another YouTube collaboration unboxing via Tackle Warehouse. I'm so stoked about this. It's been a little over a month since we did our last one with BurlyFishing. Today we are featuring one with YouTuber Mr. Bass. First of all, how do you lock down that name? That's absolutely absurd. How has nobody picked out Mr. Bass before this? I digress. At any rate, we have swapped Tackle Warehouse orders. So I ordered $50 in tackle for him via Tackle Warehouse. He did the same for me. And we're gonna be unboxing that right here on the channel today. Before we get to it, if you guys like content like this, unboxing, reviews, fishing videos, we do it all here on the channel. So consider subscribing and smash a like on this video. That helps us out a lot. Maybe ring that notification bell so you can see when we drop more content, and then come hang out for our live podcast and giveaways every single Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Me and my buddy Paul talking to awesome people in the fishing industry. It's a ton of fun. Love to see you there and talk to you in chat. All right, we've got a box to unbox. So because it's from Tackle Warehouse, which is like the largest online distributor of fishing goods and tackle, this could be anything. You know, I'm taking a little bit of a peeky poo here, and I got to tell you guys, I'm stoked. Stoked for what I see so far. So we're gonna get right into it. Let's do this. Now we're gonna run this the same way we did our unboxing with Debo. So Mr. Bass is hosting a video unboxing the box I sent him. So if you wanna go check him out, Mr. Bass on YouTube, check it out, watch that video. It should be dropping about the same time as this video right here. And then I'm unboxing what he sent me. We're also going to answer each other's questions. So we came up with 4 questions for each other to go through as we unbox. And then at the end of the video, we're gonna talk about what our favorite lure was that the other person sent us, and which one, we won't say least favorite, but we're least likely to catch fish on. So we'll get to that. All right, right off the top, it looks like Mr. Bass has watched at least one of my videos because he sent me some Ned Rig plastics. So these are from Jackal. It's called the Yammy Fish. You guys have mentioned this before. I'm sorry, I don't know who exactly mentioned these before, but they have been brought up before in my comments. So I'm stoked to finally get a chance to try them out. So this is a high density stick bait, long cast with no sinker, high density. So they want me to throw this weightless maybe? Check it out. So it's called the Yammy Fish from Jackal. We got a green pumpkin color with some like copper flake in there, it looks like. Got like a decently sturdy build to it. Feels like it's gonna hold up. It's a durable plastic, and it's hyper dense. I can feel the weight to it. I'm not sure how that's going to translate to it, sinking in the water, or what the action's gonna look like, but very interested to see how that fishes. That's cool. Perfect for finesse jigs. Melon copper is the color. These are a little 3-inch plastic for your Ned rig head. So something I'm gonna go out and rig on a very light Ned to see what happens. So that's cool, I like that. Next up, also a Ned rig bait. So we've got Gary Yamamoto. I didn't even know that these were a thing that existed. Kind of a Ned tube hybrid here, the IKA. It's a 4.5-inch plastic in a purple, they probably call it goby. They don't. Smoke with black and purple. That's fine. Check it out. So we got a little bit of a stick bait situation going on here. Ribbed plastic there. It's Gary Yamamoto. So these are well-made plastics. Check this out. Little like tentacle appendages coming off the bottom. I mean, when I see it, I immediately think Ned Rig. I'm like, on the bottom, this is gonna look juicy like that, right? But obviously I could do a little finesse Texas rig with this as well. Rig it weightless, let it sink, let these guys do their job, have some high action going down in the water column. I think it looks good. It's a color that's been smashing for me lately with that spring runoff. The super stained to very muddy water that is pretty much all lakes and rivers around me right now. This color will absolutely jam, so I like that. So will this. So far, like 2 great calls. I'm pretty stoked on that. All right, time for one of those questions. So the first question we asked each other was, what was your PB story? So tell me about your PB anything and a quick story about it. So my quick story you guys can actually see in a video on YouTube. If you go back to the Mega Slam where we were camping, Paul and I were camping and fishing this very small lake area that's a ton of fun to fish and has some big uns in it. I caught my first 5-pounder, right? So I'm in Michigan, the Midwest. We don't get a lot of 5-pounders. You can find them if you know where to look, or if there's a stocked pond or a private pond that I can't fish anyways right now. There are places you can find them, but they're few and far between. And to luck into a 5-pounder was just amazing for me. But I got there before Paul did, and I was pre-fishing for like 2 hours as he was driving up to this campsite, and I lucked into, and I'll say lucked into because it's true, I was throwing like a 10-foot diving crankbait that I got from Mystery Tackle Box with stock trebles on it. Bad move. Paul actually made a video about switching stock trebles on the Monster Bass channel. So if you guys ever want to check that out, go to Monster Bass on YouTube and you can see a video he posted recently. It's pretty rad. But stock trebles on there, cast it up shallow, running it down this steep embankment. And like a 5-pounder was just sitting up in like a foot of water, I guess, and just attacked it, right? And he actually bent my treble hooks out, and somehow I still managed to bring him in on like one hook. So not only was it my first 5-pounder, but it was also like a pretty clutch catch. Like could have lost that fish, was able to lip him, rip him into the boat. I was ecstatic. I called Paul right afterwards. I was so pumped. Such an amazing moment. My energy was on another level. So if you want to see the clip, it's in that video. I think it's in Mega Slam Part 1. So go check it out. I'll link it right here or here. You can see it. But it was pretty rad. Pretty great experience. I was beyond ecstatic for that. I've had other PBs of other species before. That was a largemouth bass. And, you know, it hits different, you know? Let's see. Next up, got a chatterbait here. ABT Lure Company, the iVibe. It's got 2 blades in there. Tell me that, I feel like I saw this one. I feel like maybe I sent him something like this too. This is a double chatter. It's a double chatter. What does this even mean? Look at this thing. Okay, so check it out. I did see this one. I totally considered sending you one too, man. So what we have here is what seems to be a medieval science experiment. There is this chatter blade and then this chatter blade. I have no idea how this right here is going to work. We got to find out. I can't wait to throw this thing just to try it. But there's 2 blades. Like I'm partially wondering, in my head right now, I'm basically thinking like, wow, cool idea. But at the same time, I'm kind of considering like the Jurassic Park conundrum. Somebody here thought too much about whether or not they could. They didn't consider whether or not they should. I don't know what this is gonna do. I feel like obviously you tie on right here on this first blade, then this blade is going to also chatter. There's so much like freedom of movement here. I'm a little concerned for casting it. I'm very concerned for retrieving it. I'm a little concerned for setting the hook on this thing. I honestly don't know. But it's a thing that exists. It comes in a green sunfish color, so we got like hints of chartreuse, green pumpkin, blue, and orange up in there. All the colors of the sunfish. Looks great. It's got 2 little evil eyes on it here and more of a flip and jig style head. I don't know. 3/8 of an ounce is the weight it comes in at. We're gonna have to find out. That is definitely an interesting pick. Interesting pick. Got a little Tackle Warehouse sticker here too. I don't know if he chose to send that or if Tackle Warehouse is sending this. I don't know. That works. These I think were a good call if it is what I think it is. Yeah. It's called the Stupid Craw. Color 29, aka June bug for them, from Secret Lures. Plasticky plastic. Check it out. So what we have is a tube craw. I don't know if that's why they call it the Stupid Craw. Stupid. Nope. I'm reading too far into that name. Dad brain. Anyways, so it's a tube. Look at this. Hollow craw. Interesting. And then we've got these floating claws. They're very thin, so I imagine they're going to float pretty well. They got a little bit of a lip or an edge to them as well. So it's going to move quite a bit of water. And then you can see hollow in there. So interesting. There's a lot of ways we could rig this. I could throw it on a tube jig, right? I could also Texas rig it, do anything you would do with normal craw. Let me see if they recommend anything. Nope, no recommendations from Secret Lures. That's fine. I'm gonna figure it out on my own. I mean, I'd fish it like a tube, right? It's got a couple little appendages coming down from it too. That's cool. Looks like you can rip those claws open and then you're gonna have a little added action there as well. Interesting. Again, with the good color, it's like he's reading the water. It's dirty, muddy water. These are all good colors for the water clarity that I have right now. So I'm digging it, man. Thank you. That's awesome. Next question we had for each other was, what is a lure that people all over the place seem to smash on and you just don't? For me, and I'm making a point to work on this year, it's topwater walking baits or stick baits like this. So these topwater walking baits, I know it's kind of the cadence, how you fish it. You got to figure this thing out. But for me, it's a skill that I have yet to acquire. And I see people just crushing on this, salt and freshwater alike. I got to figure it out. I'm going to make it a point to figure it out. I will say, like, I just don't crush on it. I just haven't figured it out, but like, I know it's doable. I know I can do it, and I'll work on it. I think I just opt for the cheating method and just throw a whopper plopper out there instead, and I just get struck on that. Or I'll fish a frog. So whenever in like a topwater situation, I'm usually doing like something a little more finessey, like the lunker hunt spider, or I'm throwing a frog at the slop, or I'm throwing a whopper plopper if I'm on open water, and I tend to get banged on those. Just something I haven't figured out yet. But much like swim baits, I'm gonna learn some new techniques this year that I'm really excited about, so stay with me on those. All right, so next bait in the box, I'm actually excited to fish. It's just not quite time yet, unfortunately. The water temps are just breaching the mid to high 50s right now, but soon enough, it's gonna be frogging season. And I actually have another one of these. So this is a lighter color. I have a black and green, but this is the Scum Frog Launch Series. So it's got tungsten internal weight system on it. I'm assuming launch means I can cast it a country mile. Yeah, this is the heaviest frog they offer, it says. This is the one they recommend for extra long casts being needed or casting into the wind. So check this out. We got the brown. So this one's called the Sloppy Toad. It's got red hooks on it. I kind of like that. That's interesting. And it's just the classic scum frog look. These weird lower eyes, line tie right there. It's just a funky looking frog overall, but it's got like a decent skirt to it. They're affordable. They have a interesting like weight and drainage system to them, which I've heard good things about. I've just never fished these. So I'm excited to fish. Now that I have a couple of these scum frogs, I'm pumped to fish these. I've heard people singing the praises of these things. Like, I can't see how it could possibly go wrong. So I have a feeling I'm gonna like this a lot. So good call again, man. I can't wait to fish some frogs. This is also like the most ridiculously like plush, supple plastic or whatever they've used on a hollow body frog I think I've ever felt. So I'm not worried about hookups at all. They got super sharp hooks on them. Red hooks is interesting. I don't think I have any frogs with red hooks. So yeah, good one. Good bait. Next question I had from Mr. Bass was, what is the coolest place that you've fished? For me in Michigan, there's a lot of spots where you get into chains of lakes that are interconnected by very small creeks or rivers or canals, channels, passages, things like that. So honestly, there's a lot of them. I'd say recently we fished this like chain of lakes in Hell, Michigan, which is pretty sweet. First of all, it's in Hell, Michigan. Second of all, there's some like trophy lakes that are attached there. Third of all, they're all interconnected by little creeks, like skinny 2 to 3 foot deep, like 10-foot wide creeks that you can just paddle down. And then you go under roads, through tunnels. It's just cool. I'm more of like a kayak adventurer. That's what Paul and I try to do. We try to explore new bodies of water as much as we can. You guys have probably noticed we don't go back and fish like the same water all the time. We're hitting different sections of the river, different rivers, different lakes. We're moving around the state, and it's a ton of fun to do it that way. That's what I prefer. And then I get on a new body of water and try and pick it apart. And if I figure out that puzzle, to me, that's a lot more rewarding than fishing the same pond over and over and over again, because I know it. It gets boring. I have a pond right next to my house that you'll see in a couple of videos, but I try not to fish it as much as I can because I know it too well. So I always go to the same like 2-3 spots where I know fish are gonna be, and they're there, and then I catch them, and then I'm like, cool. It's not a puzzle to me anymore, right? So we try to figure out new bodies of water. So I'd say that chain of lakes in Hell, Michigan and that's a recent video that I dropped as well. It's right here. So traveling through those tunnels, super cool, lots of fun. You feel like you're exploring just new, different like backwaters and all of that. Every single portion of that lake was really different. There was another chain of lakes. I can't even remember where it is, but that was also fantastic. It was just a really, really windy day, but chains of lakes. That's what I'm into. I like it. All right, so next up, I had a feeling he was gonna send me this. And the funny thing is, when I got a Tackle Warehouse box from a subscriber, Chris Shue, he sent me one of these as well. But we got a Storm Wigglewort. I knew Mr. Bass was gonna send me this because I think he's done some videos on the Wigglewort, like really diving deep into this thing. But here we go. We've got a Storm Wigglewort. This thing is fantastic, straight classic crankbait, something I want to throw right now for sure. And it comes in a Fire Tiger color, Hot Tiger they call this color. These are some deep diving cranks and a small body. Like this small finesse body size is really something we need to be throwing right now around here if we want to catch anything. It's got a nice rattle to it, and I think the paint job's pretty solid. The body itself is a solid build. I like the eyes on this thing. They're all just painted in. That's nice. And like kind of an opaque lip to it as well. Instead of a split ring, they use this little snap on those as well. So a little bit different. I mean, it's a classic lure. It's caught fish forever, and it'll probably catch me some fish too. I think it's solid. Now I have like 3 or 4 of these that I need to start fishing. Dive 7 to 18 feet. So you can put this in a little deeper section of the water column around here for sure. Think it's gonna be juicy. Before I get to my last bait, my last question from Mr. Bass was, what is your favorite lure of all time? Forever and ever, of all time. It's a very difficult question. I'm kind of a tackle junkie myself. I really enjoy fishing tackle. Like I collect it. See? Right. To me, there's nothing wrong with having 1,000 of the same bait. Like I would love to do that. If I had to think of just one that was my favorite of all time, I feel like I've discussed it on the channel a few times. I feel like I named a membership level of our YouTube memberships, which are available, by the way. If you want to help support the channel, you can click join below. Shameless plug. It's the Shark Deuce. That's what we call it. We made a name for it, the Shark Deuce. It's the Copper Truce colored Z-Man Finesse TRD. And I love rigging it to, honestly, anything from weedless neds to doing a tiny child rig, which is like upside down Texas rigging it with a nail weight in its butt. And then I'll let it like sit vertically and you can toss it around anywhere in the river and not get snagged. That's the jam. But the Shark Deuce is by far and large my favorite lure of all time because it's caught me the most fish out of any lure ever by 100,000%. So, I mean, I'm biased to it. I love Ned rigging, and Mr. Bass gets that because he sent me a bunch of Ned rig stuff, which is awesome. And I can't wait to try all that stuff out. But Shark Deuce forever holds a place in my heart. I was just on the river with Paul yesterday, and I was hammering them on the Shark Deuce again. Like year after year after year, it still works. So Shark Deuce, right here for me. Last lure in the box, and this has been a clutch box so far. I gotta say, I'm pumped to fish all these things. And I will also be pumped to fish these because I have a bunch of them. Look, there's 2 right here. Why? Because I'm planning another video for you guys on these fake dark sleepers. It's coming soon. So this dark sleeper is not a fake one. This is from Mega Bass. And these things are pretty rad. I like the concept. It's a mini swim bait. It's funny that he got the exact same size that I picked out because they come in different sizes. But this is the 1/2 ounce, 3-inch variation. This color, Wakasagi. This color is called Wakasagi. I like it. It's actually like this kind of brownish copper color up there to a purple and pearl belly. That looks good. A little orange on the gills. Dude, great color. Great call out. I like it. But it's a swim bait, right? With a heavy head right here, heavy jig head. So it's meant to be fished on the bottom. Normally you're fishing swim baits mid to high water column area. This is a swim bait for the bottom, and it does have a simple weed guard here. Megabass likes to claim that it's super weedless. It's not. It is weedless, not weed proof. That is important to note, but it's got this little dorsal fin here that protects the hook right there. It's a good size. It's a good thing to be throwing right now. Fish are still kind of hugging the bottom. I think this is going to be something I can get some fish on soon. I haven't really had a chance to throw these much. So I got more like this sunfish bluegill color and of course a chartreuse color. So this now adds a little bit more of a natural and darker watercolor that I like. That's neat. So I could probably get them on one of these two very soon. I got a good feeling about it, but great lure, great company, Megabass. Something I'm definitely interested in fishing a bit more. And again, this is something where you're kind of like hopping it on the bottom or you're just fishing it slow. So like on some of these tougher days I've been considering this. I need to just commit to it, but huck this out there, slow crawl it on the bottom, pause it every now and then, and I should be able to get bit. We'll throw these slightly smaller ones that are not real in an upcoming video, and we'll see how they hold up and how they compare to the Megabass ones. All right, I think we did it. I think we got through all the baits, so let's check this out. Recap: Secret Lure Stupid Craw. It's like a tube craw. We got the Yamamotos. These are the Ica. It's a little like tentacly Ned rig. We got the super dense jackal yammy fish. Heard good things about that. I'm really excited to throw that. We got that Megabass Dark Sleeper, Scum Frog, Wiggle Wart, and the Hot Tiger, the iVibe, aka the double Chitty Chat. And that's it. We did it. All in all, I think that was a great box from Mr. Bass. So I appreciate him participating in this fun little collaboration thing. This is something that I love doing and would love to do with other YouTubers out there. So y'all hit me up in the comments if you want to do a box swap. It's a lot of fun. All right, last thing we got to do for this video, just like we did on Debo's fishing video, is we got to pick out our favorite lure from the box and the one that we're least likely to make a catch on. I'll say my favorite lure in this box is the yammy fish because you guys have brought this up a lot of times. It's a great color for right now, and it's something that I want to try out. So I think that that's awesome. I would say the one I'm least likely to make a catch on is tough because all of these should catch something, right? I mean, I'm just going to look at this and be like, how could this, look at this like Jacob's ladder looking thing. Like, I'm concerned on the functionality of this lure is all. I think I can still catch something on it, and it is intriguing at the very least. And I told you guys, I looked at these when I was ordering from Mr. Bass. I might have even sent him one. I probably sent him something like this. It sounds like something I would do. So I'm concerned mostly on the functionality of this lure right here. I'm not saying I won't catch anything on it. I probably will. And I'll eat my words then, but it's just real funky and strange, and I don't know what's gonna happen. So there's that. Somebody sells it, so it has to, I guess it doesn't have to work, but it should work. All right, you guys, so that was a ton of fun. Hopefully you had fun as well. As always, if you like the content, unboxing videos, reviews, and fishing videos, we do it all here on the channel. So consider subscribing to the channel, smash a like on this video, ring that notification bell so you can see when we drop more content. Then come hang out with me and my buddy Paul every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern for a live podcast and giveaway. It's a ton of fun every single week, and we'd love to see you there and talk to you in chat. And of course, thank you to Mr. Bass for participating in this YouTube Tackle Warehouse box swap. It was a ton of fun. Hopefully he had fun. Hopefully he enjoys the baits that I sent him. I don't know. We'll find out. I got to go watch his video. But be sure to go check out his channel and his unboxing of the stuff that I sent him. So Mr. Bass on YouTube, go check him out. Give him a subscribe. Smash a like on this video. Tell him in the comments that you came over from my video and that you think his video is neat or rad. Only use those words if you can. But hey, thanks a lot for watching again, you guys. And until the next video, we'll see you out on the water.